What are you saying, ladies and gents? It is your boy Bucket Sam, and we're back in today for another video. Today's video, I'm doing my Spurs and Liverpool combined 11 with the two sides battling it out on the weekend. I'm absolutely buzzing for this. And I think the biggest thing we've got to start off with before we even get into any of the specifics and the players and the debates and things, it's crazy to think that we're in a stage now, we're in a situation where we can compare these two sides. You think in previous years, you look at Tottenham in the last few years and look at everything that's gone on there with Conte, with Nuno and Mourinho and everything about that. It's been a really defensive side, it's been quite negative and it's not been a great place, let's be honest, in the last couple of years. And then you look at Liverpool, who were in the Champions League final a couple of years ago. It's crazy how these two sides now, you can actually compare and actually debate with the two sides. It's crazy how much Ange has changed Tottenham and I think Jurgen Klopp as well. I think that's one thing that's gone really unnoticed and I think it has to be discussed before we even get into the players, is the fact that Liverpool have kind of regenerated, completely rejuvenated side, completely changed that entire midfield, and they've done it so seamlessly. Like, no one's discussing it. I think they've been absolutely amazing this season, got off to such a flying start, and that's why we've got to do this, because I'm really excited. Two really informed sides playing some really good football. We're going to start off with the goalkeeper then. Now, Vicario and Alisson. Now, I do feel for Vicario because he's had a really good start to the season. I think he's really a massive improvement on Lloris. And I think people, again, it's kind of gone unnoticed, hasn't it? Because it's not the most attractive player. Like, when you look at kind of decisions and when you talk about big money moves, big signings, big names, keepers do go unnoticed quite often. So I do think he's been a really good signing. But Alisson is still, in my opinion, the greatest keeper on the planet right now. He's so good ball playing. He's got the highest save percentages in the league. He's always topping the XG charts. This guy wins you games on his own. Like, he is such a good player. So we've got to start off with Alisson in goal, 100%. Right back, Pedro Porro versus Alexander-Arnold. Now, I do feel for Pedro Porro. Again, Trent is such a good footballer. Pedro Porro, though, has really improved this season. He looks so much better on the ball, looks better defensively. He's had an assist to the game. I really like him going forward, but I think Trent is just clear, in my opinion. Trent is still arguably one of the best fullbacks on the planet. Yes, I know defensively people have questioned him, but I do think he's improving, and he had a really good start to the season. Now, the centre-back pairing. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. You've got the likes of Konate, Virgil van Dijk, Van de Ven, you've got Romero, you've got Matip. But Matip, I think, is straight out of the picture. I think Romero, for me, I think he's had a good start to the season. I think he looks a lot better this season, but I think it helps because he's got Van de Ven next to him. I think that's the real reason why we've seen such a massive improvement in Romero. I think the biggest question mark for me always has been with Romero is discipline. He gives away a lot of fouls, kind of finds himself out of position. He's sometimes quite unorthodox in his defensive style, and we saw that against Arsenal. I thought he dropped an absolute stinker, scoring an own goal, giving away a penalty. He's just a bit all over the place. It's a bit rash sometimes, quite irrational with his decision making. So for me, I don't think he's quite on the level of the others. Matip, I don't think he's quite there. I think Konate is a very good player, but I just personally don't think he's on the level of Van de Ven. I think Konate's a very good player. Like, we're slowly seeing him really mature into that position. I think he really plays and complements Virgil van Dijk quite well together. And I know, obviously, Van Dijk having his ban and things, but I think Konate has matured. I think he's looking like a lot better player, not as many mistakes, not as many errors. I really like him defensively, positional-wise. I'm really liking him. But I'm going to have to go for Virgil van Dijk and Van de Ven. I think Van de Ven has been an absolutely massive, huge signing. Exactly what Spurs needed, let's be honest. They've been looking for a kind of a ball-playing centre-half for quite a while. They tried it with Eric Dyer at one point, Davinson Sanchez. They haven't really ever filled that position, even with Joe Rodon. Like, it's mad when you look back, but I do think Van de Ven has got off to an absolute flying start. A really bizarre signing, let's be honest. Not many people knew many things about him. Personally, I'd only read a little bit online after the signing had been made. I didn't really know much about him before, but he's been absolutely integral to that side. He's so good defensively. He's an absolute destroyer, really good in the air. I really like him, and I think him and Van Dijk are by far the two best centre-backs in this team. Virgil van Dijk, I don't really need to go on about him for that long, let's be honest. He's such a good player. We know exactly what he can do. He's just amazing, isn't he? Let's be honest. So Virgil van Dijk and Van de Ven is my centre-back pairing. Left back, Udogie and Robertson. I'm going to go for Robertson. Udogie's a very good footballer. A lot of question marks whether he could fit into a back four, because obviously he's only ever been playing as a left wing back in a back five. I think he's been very good this season. I thought we saw kind of his frailties in that defence against Arsenal. You saw when he was actually targeted, when he was one-on-one. He did sort of get found out. Saka got the beating of him quite a few times in that game. But he's still a very good player, don't get me wrong. I think he's had a very good season. But Robertson, let's be honest, is one of the best left-backs on the planet. I really like him. So now, that's Robertson. That's the back four done. And the goalkeeper. Now the midfield. So we're going to do midfield three here. And there's a lot of players we can discuss. And I'm going to fly through my choices. Now, I'm going to tell you my choices, and I'm going to tell you the players that I think are unlucky to miss out on. So my choices are, I want Basuma, I can never say it, Szoboszlai, Sorry. Basuma, Szoboszlai and Maddison as my midfield three. I think that midfield three is really strong. I think Szoboszlai has been absolutely huge for Liverpool. Someone that's gone really under the radar. I think he's so good. The complete midfielder. And again, we talk about these players that seamlessly come in and rejuvenated that midfield. I think he has been so good. Kind of just seamlessly gone under the radar. A player that I'm really like watching play. He's a complete player. He's very strong defensively. He's really good going forward. He's very strong as well. I think that was the one question I had about him before going into this. I thought, will he get found out in that midfield? But no, he's absolutely holding his own in there. And then Basuma, a player that we all expected to be absolutely massive for Tottenham, a player that absolutely everyone wanted at one time. He's probably one of the most thought after players, but he has absolutely taken that position, made it his own. If I'm honest, the Spurs this season really looks like a new player under Big Ange, because obviously under Conte, we all expected him to play well, but we just didn't see him at all, did we? And when he did, he dropped absolute stinkers. So it's really nice to see him playing really well. And I thought he had the beating of Rice in that midfield in the North London derby. I thought he was probably by far the best player on the pitch. And then in the attacking midfielder position, I want James Maddison. Now, this is a controversial one, but I absolutely love the man, because I know a lot of people may say McAllister, and you've got other midfielders that could go through in a minute, but I just think he's so good. A player that no one expected to be as good as he is, and literally dictating the entire tempo of the game from the number 10 position, taking the ball off centre-backs, scoring goals, creating assists, creating play, dictating the tempo, absolutely everything. This guy is the personality of this Tottenham team. He is so good. And unlucky players to miss out. McAllister, I really like him. I think he's really started quite well in that Liverpool midfield. I think he's got off to a good start. Curtis Jones, probably not. Harvey Elliott, probably not. Sarr is an unlucky player to miss out on. I think he's been very good this season. Compliments Basuma, but I think out of the two, Basuma is probably the better footballer. So that's my midfield, like honourable mentions. Now the front three. Now this is where there are so many players and so many choices, because Liverpool have about 20 attackers. So I'm going to go straight in with Salah on the right. I think he's got off to an absolute flying start. I think it's 3 goals and 4 assists in 6 Premier League games, which is a really good start. Then I want Son up top. And I want Darwin Núñez. Now, I know Darwin Núñez hasn't really been starting, but he's looked so good. I thought he looked really good in the Europa League game against Lask. Kind of really changed the game. He came on when they were losing and just completely dictated the game. Everything went through him. I think he's looking very good. And I think he's now starting to actually not become the Captain Chaos. He's looking so much more mature on the ball. I think he's actually, his decision making's a lot better. His finishing's got a better, because you think about that goal against West Ham, he took it so well. But yeah, I want Darwin Núñez in there. I know you've got the likes of potentially Solomon, Kulusevski, Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, a lot of players that are all very good. But I think if you're actually picking the best 3, I think Salah, Son and Núñez is a really strong 3. Let's be honest. Son now playing as a number 9 quite often. I really like him there. I think he looks very good there. Another honourable mention, what's his name? Brennan Johnson. I think he looks okay against Arsenal, but he's not good enough really, is he, to be in the discussion and in the debate. Solomon's got off to a good start. Kulusevski, all these players, very good, but let's be honest, those 3 that we've picked are just pace machines. Their output is insane. Darwin Núñez has got off to an absolute flyer, and I read something, he's got the same amount of goals as Suarez in his first 20 league games for Liverpool. So that's a good start, and I think he's only going to get better. Obviously with Bielsa coaching him and Jurgen Klopp, I'm really excited to see what he does. But that is my combined 11. And with the manager, it's got to be Jurgen Klopp. As much as I love Big Ange and the football they're playing, Jurgen Klopp is a serial winner, let's be honest. And he's a great guy, let's be honest. So now we'll go through my Spurs and Liverpool combined 11. In goal, we have got Alisson. Right back, we have got Trent Alexander-Arnold. And a centre-back pairing of Van Dijk and Van der Ven. Left back, Andy Robertson. A midfield 3 of Bissouma and Szoboszlai. And then attacking midfielder, James Maddison, who will literally dictate this entire team, be the personality, the creative spot that this team needs. On the right, we'll have Mo Salah scoring goals for fun. Up top, we will have Heung-min Son, who right now is the man for Tottenham. Really like him in that number 9 position. I think he looks so much better there, because we know he's one of the best finishers in Europe, maybe even on the planet. And then left wing, I want Darwin Núñez, a player that I think has looked so much more better than he did last season. I'm really excited, and I think he's going to absolutely bang it. I think he's going to really push on. I think he's going to look very good. But yeah, Darwin Núñez on that left, cutting inside, scoring goals for fun. And we've seen, he looks so much more assured this year. I'm really excited. And I think that team is a solid team. Let's be honest, I think that is the perfect combined 11. Let me know down in the comment section below any players you believe I unfairly missed out. But thank you for watching. Bucket Sam, over and out. Thank you. Goodbye.